Hello, my name is Margie Bryant and I'm here with a really good friend of mine, Rocio Bona. And thank you for coming today, Rocio.
Thank you for the invitation.
And tune in because you're going to be very inspired by Rocio's story. And I invited Rocio because she's just one cool chick, first up. And two, she just has achieved so much in her short life. And I have deliberately invited her to inspire women. And Rocio, just let our audience hear a little bit about you. Rocio was the gold medalist at the 7th International Taekwondo Federation World Cup. And that's an incredible achievement, Rocio, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
you've
Great.
achieved that in amongst a whole lot of other things. You're a mum, a young mum.
Correct.
And you're also a incredible, successfully woman with working. And you've got so much to your background, Rocio. You've got a Bachelor of Architecture.
Yes, that's correct.
And you've got a Master's in Technology. And you have a PhD in Environmental Design. And you're currently working as a Director of Planning at Curtin University. So,
Yes.
wow,
Fantastic.
ladies. So this is one cool chick. So,
Thank
Rocio,
you, Margie.
how do you achieve all this balance in your work life and your work and your life?
Yeah. Look, I think it all comes down to a few things. And let me reiterate. It's around values and understanding what's important to you. All the things that you want to achieve. You know, do you want a career? Do you want to spend a time with your family? Do you want to do arts? Do you want to be healthy and active, etc.? Once you decide on that, it's about prioritizing, right? And so what is the most important things you can do? And once you achieve that, is simplifying. So for me, you know, it is very important to do all these things, stay active, healthy, have a career, spend time with my daughter and my husband, etc. So how can I combine all these things? So it's about simplifying. So for instance, I'm just going to give you an example. For me, it's very important to eat healthily and cook my own meals, but it's not important to me to go and spend 1 hour in the supermarket to pick up the stuff. So
Who could relate to that, guys?
I'm very happy to, you know, get food delivered to my home, and I have a system, and I found amazing people who can deliver fresh produce on a weekly basis, so I go for that, and that liberates, you know, gives me time back so I can do the things that are important to me. Once you do that, you know, you prioritize, then you start implementing, and how can you bring all these things together? Really, that's the bit that is very important. So
and still have a life.
I happen to be passionate about martial arts. I started probably more than 20 years ago. Then I took a really long break and have come back to Taekwondo. But I want to obviously spend time with my daughter and be a role model and get her to be healthy and active. And I was very fortunate to find this group that has training for kids at the same time as training for adults. So why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
You know, why wouldn't you do that? So that's how, you know, I bring all the elements together into the mixing pot, and obviously it has worked really well for me. And after that, every year you refine and you look at what needs to be tweaked, and you start all over again.
And Rocio, you also did this world gold medal.
Yes.
At the same time as pulling off an incredible 800 people conference.
Yes. Yeah.
And that takes some talent. So
yeah, that was a really interesting part of my life. So all in 1 month, it was September, I had an 800-person conference for the tertiary industry in education, and that went really well, and training. And I think that the gold medal is like the cherry on top of the cake, you know. It is so fantastic, and the energy, and you know, it's just incredible feeling when you win. But really what really matters is what's behind that, and the fact that, you know, I was able to make a commitment to this and put my whole heart into training and pulling it off.
Yeah.
And obviously we went,
make it happen.
It was in Sydney, and I couldn't resist to bring my daughter with me, of course.
And what a role model that is, to do it and exemplify exactly how to live. And Rocio, you balance it off with also yoga, and you do pottery, and just extraordinary. Just the things you get in your life.
I have many things that I like to do, and again, you prioritize. And for instance, I love pottery, and I've done pottery. I did pottery probably 10 years ago and really enjoyed it. For now, that's on hold in favor of focusing more on exercise and focusing more on career and my daughter. So
it's the balance.
It's the balance.
And Rocio, in your incredible industry in architecture and what you're doing now, gender is amazing. The really, could you say that there's a need for more women in architecture, Rocio? And how does it translate into sport as well, and particularly in Taekwondo?
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting question, Margie. Very important. I come from the building industry, so it's not just architecture, it's construction and development. And you're going to find that, yes, women are misrepresented. And it is unfortunate. Underrepresented, sorry.
Yeah. No, fine.
Represented. And, it's taken a really long time to change that.
Yeah.
And similarly in Taekwondo, you find when you go to kids' classes, the gender is 50% female, 50% male. And then as things developed, the number of girls drops. Similarly, in architecture, out of a cohort of 100 students, 15 of us graduated, and then 50% male, 50% female. And I can tell you, going back to these friends, a lot of them took, the traditional path of, being draftsperson and then taking step by step, and most of them have given up. It's just so tough. But there is something to say to the fact that role models are really important.
Very.
And you don't have to do anything. And I'm going to give you an example from Taekwondo, which, 20 years ago when I was practicing in Mexico, there was this lady, probably she was in her 60s, but she was very, very passionate, and she trained as hard as everybody else. She didn't have to come and talk to me. She didn't have to, tell me, yes, you can do it and keep going. All she had to do was be there.
Yeah.
And that
speaks volumes.
Incredible, because that really, without her knowing, that's what has brought me back to the sport in many ways, to say, well, there was this person there and she was doing a great job, and why not? Similarly, learning is for life, sport is for life too. So
and Rocio, that's a great segue into my final question for you, is what is your message for other mums?
I think, first of all, don't be afraid to test. Again, go back to your values and what you would like to do. Prioritize and find a way to make it happen. It's all about how you can bring different things together. And look, it's an amazing time when it's really easy to find ways to accommodate your different needs. So be brave and give it a go.
That's it. And thank you so much, Rocio. I really appreciate it. And be inspired and drop the hearts and loves and feel free to share it with others that would make a difference in their lives. Thank you so much, Rocio.
Thank
really
you, Margaret.
Appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
Take care.
Bye.
And have an awesome day. Love life and live in the greatest happiness and the greatest health.